My name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to our live show, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi everyone, welcome to our show. Thank you for being here. If you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel and give us some feedback throughout the show. Same thing if you're watching us on Facebook. Make sure you have liked our GE Designs business page, and you can always sign up for notification in both places so that you never miss a show. Thumbs up and hearts are appreciated, and of course we love to communicate with you throughout the show. So start it off by saying hello, introduce yourselves, tell all of your friends where you're tuning in from. Mr. HP is here. We are in Studio B with a little bit of a different setup. You have a quilt now hanging there.
I'm official.
Nice. You're official. He's got a new desk and everything.
Tilt that down just a little bit. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh, okay. So Kobe's here too, sleeping right behind me, of course. I just got back from Norway, so he is watching my every move. But on today's show, I have a 5th bonus Matchmaker episode for you. We've been going through our Matchmaker series. It's been 5 episodes. This is actually part 5, but the first one was an introduction. So 4 major Matchmaker episodes. And I'll be touching on a lot of our programs and events coming up. So listen carefully, ask questions. I know everybody's eager about a lot of different things. And I, of course, have some fabric to show you later on. But let's start with making sure that you stick around to the end of the show. We have a giveaway for a $25 gift card. And so we start by announcing our winner from last week. Last week, it was like National Hot Dog Day or something. No, Hamburger Day, yeah. So I asked, what do you put on your burger? And our winner is
Let's see.
Mr. HP. You got it? Drum roll. Denise, lucky Hop. That's probably why she was randomly drawn, because she's lucky.
What's she want in her burger?
But she makes a horseradish sauce, and then she said every burger has to have cheese.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, horseradish. I mean, I'm sure it's probably good.
Pepper jack cheese mainly.
So congratulations, Denise. Just send us an email to help@GE Quilt Designs to claim your prize. And we will get that gift card right away to you. So now, everybody, don't start changing your name to Lucky. It's probably not going to work. I don't know. Anyways, I just got back from Norway late last night. And so today I am seriously jet lagged. I was up at 4 a.m. wide awake because it's actually 10 a.m. in Norway. And I've been teaching classes every morning. So my clock is still way off. Hopefully in the next few days I'll be able to balance it out. But I'm sure it's going to be a little bit early night for me. Yeah. But I had such a great time. I met so many amazing quilters and people, and got to hang out with my good friend Annie from By Annie's. Of course, I'm sure you've maybe heard about her and her amazing bag pattern. She's a bag maker extraordinaire, and so we carry some of her bag making products, so amazing stuff. This event was put on by Catherine, who owns Catherine's Quiltestua in Oslo. And so the shop is located in Oslo. We actually were staying in a beautiful, very, I think, historical hotel. It's huge. I swear, every time I walked on a new corridor, there was a new room and all these things. It's called Klekken Hotel. It's about an hour from Oslo, just driving through the beautiful countryside. Of course, snow, a little bit of snow, and last night there it snowed. And so we got some beautiful dusting. It was just so pretty. Not very much fun to drive-in, but it was really pretty on all the trees, of course. A lot of Norwegian spruce around, but it was really a great time. So we did play a little slideshow for you on Friday. Of course, there's many more moments and things, but let's play the slideshow again, or the video, and then I can show you some more pictures. Seafood table for lunch. Some salads, more appetizers, all the hot food, more salads, and then we have dessert. Dessert table is the best, isn't it? Yes. Oh my gosh. Looks so good. And it tastes good. Believe me, I've tried it all. It sure was an amazing room to teach in, and just really nice and bright. We had big windows and we could look outside. This is the store. They set up a whole store in another room. Just beautiful setup and beautifully laid out, and of course, very good shopping. You see the windows. It was dark already there. It got dark about, I want to say 4 o'clock, maybe 3, but we, of course, kept going. So I taught 2 of the days was Master Your Astrology Rulers. And then I taught Zoe. Here are some Zoe blocks from some of my students. They were all so different, and I can't wait to see some of these Zoe quilts come together. They're going to be really awesome. all kinds of different colors, a lot of new stripologists in the group. So we got so many that were using the rulers for the first time, but we're very excited and how everything worked and how easy things are. Just one is better than the next. So as you can see, all different colors. And the store has lots of great GE samples. There is our Strippy Forest, the table runner version Catherine is holding up. And then here are some of the finished back home toppers from class. Lisa finished hers, and then she made another one in the evening session. So they stayed and sewed just like a regular retreat. So they stayed and sewed into the night. And then I taught Saga on Sunday. Sunday class was Saga. It was a little bit smaller group, which was great for a Sunday class, but they got so much done. They got half of their blocks done, most of them, and just ready to rock and roll when they got home. And so we had folks from all over Norway and even Sweden and the Netherlands in my classes. I got to meet a couple of ladies that originally are from Iceland, so that was really fun to get to speak Icelandic a little bit. But my Norwegian is coming along. It was getting better throughout the whole time. And I saw some questions. Yes, we went to the Hadeland glass factory watching them blowing glass. It's so cool. I mean, it was just mesmerizing. We've been watching, what is the show that we got stuck on watching? It's like a competition show, a reality show, blowing glass. It's like something I don't remember what it's great, so I recommend it. But we were amazed, me and Annie, that we could be so close to everybody. They were making all kinds of things, and including, there was a station where they're making wine glasses and cocktail glasses. But you can be so close. I mean, that would never be allowed in the United States. We always kept saying that because we could just walk around everywhere. You could totally feel the heat, yeah. It was amazing. And they had all these different glory holes where there was different temperatures. And yeah, it was fascinating and just gorgeous, gorgeous glass works they have there. I actually bought a couple things. I forgot. I should have brought them and showed you. I brought these little pine trees. So I'll show you on Friday. They're really, really cool. Made it home safe, but had a great time. I ate my weight in gravlax.
What is that?
Oh, that's like cured salmon. The salmon there is, oh my God, so good. Blown away, yeah. But gravlax, you actually just cure it with some salt and then dill, and it's just a couple of days. So it's not smoked like smoked salmon. It's still just cured, so it's not cooked, but it's delicious, and they serve it with this mustard dill sauce. We have it in Iceland, and so I've always, loved it. And somebody told me they have good gravlax at IKEA, so I'm gonna go find that.
Awesome.
Yeah. We gotta go to IKEA before Christmas anyway, because I gotta get my pepparkakor, my ginger snap cookies.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that.
You knew that. But great time, and miss everybody. And so maybe we have some new viewers. If you were there this past weekend with me, welcome. We had a lot of folks joining the crew, so hopefully a lot of new viewers. All right. Any questions you see pop up?
How long is plane ride to Norway?
Plane ride. So I flew through Iceland because I flew with Icelandair, so I did a stopover on the way to Norway, so I was able to spend a few days in Iceland. And then so I did a quick stop, 3 hours, Norway or Oslo to Iceland, and then Iceland, I flew straight down to Florida to Orlando. It was 8 hours. It was fine. It was long. It's tiring, but no big deal. Had some good movies to watch. All right, it's time for our tip of the day. That is our Matchmaker Part 5. This is kind of the bonus feature, giving you a little more of an insight instead of just looking at the patterns, maybe you have fabric, how do you pick what type of pattern from what group will work best for your fabric? So let's check it out. In this segment and final part of the Matchmaker series this year, I wanted to bring it all together for you and give you some examples. We've been looking at the 4 groups of patterns and seeing many examples of quilts, but what if you have the fabric already and want to figure out what type of pattern would work best so that the fabric and the pattern will make that perfect pair, so the end result will be a great looking quilt. So I'm going to give you some examples here. We're going to go through the key elements we've been talking about, the 4 groupings of patterns. And so we're starting with this bundle here. It is called Mystical Sun. And so the first thing you want to look at is the combination of fabrics. If this is what you want to use, you like this combination, just like we talked about in all of the other videos, you want to look for balance. Are there equal numbers of the colors? And let's also look at the prints. Are they busy? Do we have some calming tone on tone prints? This looks really nicely balanced to me. And so one thing that stands out to me at this one is there's lots of different colors. We have dark browns, medium browns, golds, reds, teals, and then these low volume fabrics that are light in the base with some print on it. So first off, I imagine them just all together. So that would be our scrappy goodness. And honestly, this is a perfect bundle to do something with a scrappy goodness because you have such variety, and then even within each color, you have different shades. So this will be a perfect match to just put in a scrappy goodness type of a pattern. But some bundles like this may be good for maybe scrappy with contrast, but not all, because they can be a little bit too wild. This one I think would also fit well in a scrappy with focus. So for example, for this one, looking at all the prints, I wouldn't want to add a color. We already have so many colors, so I would go with a neutral, probably black. Just make sure it's dark enough so it's going to show up on all of them. And you could also do a really, really dark brown, but I think the black would be the best fit. Light is not going to show up well, and you don't really want to add another color. So that would be my choice for this one. So let's look at another bundle that has maybe a little bit similar feel. So this is Connections. And so again, we have lots of low volumes, but a lot of color as well. So we have quite a bit of light fabrics and then quite a bit of dark as well. So kind of the whole range. So I would say this one has a similar feel. We have a range of colors. We have a lot of lights. And again, this would be a great fit for just scrappy goodness. But there's a lot of action in all those prints, a lot going on, both with color and both with the patterns. And so maybe we need a little bit of a stability within this to kind of calm our eye. So I probably would pick a pattern that is scrappy with focus. It could be great for a scrappy goodness as well, because they all are kind of mixed well together. If you like busy prints, that is. But if we're going to find a focus fabric for this, I would be looking for colors that are in the fabrics but are not represented as one of the prints. So I would probably pull out some of these beautiful pinks, nothing too bright. So this one is Seeds Carnation, so it's that same tone, but it's not screaming out loud. Another option would be to go a dark, dark navy, something that would stand out enough, and these light triangles on this one tone well with the other blues in the line and the grays. So that would be another option. Now you could also put a background with this, And a light background would be good, but I'm not sure that these fabrics would shine completely on that. So possibly a background that is just a little bit light gray so that most of the fabrics, or at least can stand out with that one. So let's move on to something totally different, which is our Frosted Mary Mints. So this is a very well balanced line or a bundle. We have grays, we have reds, and we have aquas. And so very few colors. So there's not a whole lot of colors. So sometimes when you have fewer colors, you maybe don't want to do something with scrappy goodness, because there is you have a harder time putting fabrics together because there's not enough variety of colors, because you wouldn't put any of the grays next to each other because they would all mix together. So you really have the only contrast is the red and the aqua. So you would kind of give you more trouble than be helpful. But for this one, my favorite choice for this one is Scrappy with Focus, because you could pull something in that would make sense but could stand really well out from everything else. So I did something unexpected. There is just a hint of pink in places here, and I feel like with this theme of Frosted Mary Mints, a hot pink would be great. But you could also do a black, or I would probably go a dark gray if you want it a little bit more neutral, not so bright. But a Scrappy with Focus would be a great option for this. If you wanted to do a background and want to go light, it's going to be a little bit hard because the grays are really light. The lightest aquas are really light as well. So I think a Scrappy with Focus would be perfect for this. Either way you go with a color. Let's look at something, again, totally different. And this one is just neutral. So this is modern abstractions. So we have a lot more muted colors. Again, very few colors. So really just that espresso or that kind of a khaki brown color, the grays, and then the dusty blues. So for this, again, if you wanted to put them all together, you first start matching all together. They would look great in a scrappy goodness. However, the look of this quilt is going to be just like the look of the bundle because it's muted and it's going to be calming and soft, but it would be great in that. If you wanted to kind of give it a little more interest, again, I would try Scrappy with Focus. So find one focus fabric that would work well with this. Now there is a bit of black in here, so I could go with a black, but I would probably do something that has a little bit of softness, not too harsh. But as you can see, this one would be a great focus from all of them. It's going to show up really well. Or even just a little bit duller, kind of a taupey gray with some brown in it. And that's even a better, calmer fit. It's not going to stand out as much as this and maybe take too much attention to these really nice soft tones. If you wanted to do something with a background, you would have to go fairly light because we have some really light prints in here. So I would go just a light, very light gray, or something that fits with the feel, but still is going to give you contrast. And again, it's so the line of fabrics stays within its integrity of being nice and soft, and it will still do that with a background. Going into some, this is a smaller bundle, just 8 fabrics, but it's a classic one where we have a split between lights and darks. So this is Kindred, and we have 4 darks and 4 lights, kind of one of the lights being the transitional ones. They're all tone on tone. But this is a perfect, whenever you see a bundle or a collection of fabrics that you have a lot of lights and then you have a lot of darks that have that big contrast, it's perfect for Scrappy with contrast. So making a quilt where you can pair up the lightest dark with the lightest light and so on to make blocks, this is going to be a really pretty combination. But you can very distinctively see the lights and darks. So when you're putting this together in any pattern, scrappy with contrast, it's going to look great. Now, doesn't mean that you couldn't do some focus fabrics. So you could definitely add some focus, taking some of the cues from the fabrics, adding a little bit of medium gray would be a great option. Or there's a bit of blue, navy blue here. So you could do something like a soft navy, soft blue color as the focus. But definitely this was meant to be a light and dark, so you want to use it that kind of way. Here's another one that is very contemporary, but very unique, Rust and Bloom. So we have some blues and grays and kind of a feel of a darker ones. And then we have the rust, so different rust shades and colors and prints. And then we have just a little bit of that gray and the lighter tones coming in here. We could put that in here to have it make sense a little bit more. So this one you could definitely pair up as a light and dark, so a scrappy with contrast, by taking some of the darkest, try and do the blues with some of the rusts. Now, it's not going to be as sharp of a contrast as we saw in the one before, but it definitely could be done where you pair up just totally different colors and you can get that contrast from the different colors. You could also do a scrappy with focus. Add something as the darkest hue that you find in the prints, so something like a deep navy blue or even almost black for an even better contrast. Now, if you wanted to do a background, just make sure if you wanted to include the lightest one to go even lighter or a tad bit darker so that you have contrast from everything. But I love the idea of just scrappy with contrast or scrappy with focus using these colors. So let's look at some more colorful fabrics. Now, I have to say, most of these prints or these bundles that I've shown you would fit very well into a scrappy with background, because adding background that stands out from everything is fairly easy with most of the bundles. This is Mediterranean and has lots of color, but still fairly, reserved as far as not the whole rainbow. But we have greens and golds and teals and aquas, a couple of prints with that light background. So I think something like this, of course, it could be great as a scrappy goodness. You could do something with focus. For example, looking for a focus fabric, I would do something probably finding like a light green so you could really stand out from these guys and all of these. Or you could do a gray, a little bit darker, a little bit duller. You don't want to do something bright. But I think the best fit for me, I would probably do something with the background. And I love just a light background. This one has just a little bit of green in it, so it would stand out from everything. And because these two lighter prints have a lot of color in them, they're still going to stand out, even though there is white in the background, because there's so much going on. So that would be my choice, a great, perfect scrappy with a background. And I have another similar bundle here that could work in similar ways. So when you have pretty monochromatic, well, not really monochromatic, but fairly tone-on-tone prints. There's not a lot of color in each one of them. So it's kind of like we're working with tone-on-tone basics and then just creating kind of a rainbow. And this can be very versatile. However, if you're going to put them all together and not add anything, it could be kind of a little bit boring in my opinion. So I think, again, this one would be a perfect fit to do a background. So scrappy with a background. Something totally light that all of these beautiful colors are going to stand out, going to stand on their own and really set a statement. You could do something scrappy with focus. I would then bring in a whole nother color because you've got all the greens, all the ranges of into the teals to the blues and the neutrals of gray and black. So what about throwing in some red? That would definitely stand out. You could also throw in a little bit of purple. It's gonna feel very nicely with the blues and the greens. Or you could do a bright yellow as well. And my favorite choice for this one would be a scrappy with a background so that you can get the best contrast. So that's it. Just start trying things, take a look at your fabrics, and then just try things. Always look at the balance first. Imagine them all together with nothing else. Do they need a little something extra to tie it all together? Then it's great to add a focus fabric. Now, is there going to be contrast within all of the prints that you're going to be using? Scrappy with contrast may be a choice if you have some value differences of lights and darks maybe, or different colors that are going to stand out from each other. And then if you just love it and want all the colors to stand out, find a perfect background and a pattern from the scrappy with background. So there it is. I hope this kind of bringing it all together part was going to be helpful for some of you. I saw some of you were kind of confused throughout. What do you mean when I say focus? Can you show an example? So the 4 groupings going through the Matchmaker series, the 4 groups are scrappy goodness, scrappy with focus, scrappy with contrast, and scrappy with background. So I suggest you go watch the Scrappy with Focus. I give lots of examples of quilts and patterns that belong to that category. And so if I was recommending a bundle for a certain category, there's numerous quilts in that category that it would work well with. So again, these are 4 episodes. So it's not last Tipsy Tuesday, but the 4 before that. So you can go back and watch them whenever you want. All right, any other questions pop up?
Not really. So focus isn't background?
Focus is not background. So that's when you add one color that kind of brings everything together, brings all the fabrics together, something that the eye goes to. Of course, a background creates even more of a focus or more, but background is usually meant to fall in the background to let the other fabric shine. Focus means that fabric, that focus fabric is really going to stand out. Will one bundle make a lap size quilt? Yes, easily. And as some of you know, one bundle can make 2 quilts just by adding maybe a background and some borders and things like that. So one example of that exactly is the quilts behind us today. So we have, behind me, there's 2 Inga quilts. We have one that is brand new from a bundle that just came in. I'm going to show you later on in the show. It's called Bluish by Moda. And then I have my older version, fall colors. And then behind Mr. HP is Tara from Bluish as well. And those 2 are made from one single bundle. Tara's even a twin size. Well, you match, yeah. You're killing it there. And then so yes, you cut 10-inch squares for the Inca quilt, and then you cut 5-inch squares from the bundle to use for Tara. All you add is a little bit of background, borders, and a little bit of accent, that orange in there. So 2 quilts from one bundle. We love that. But
Is the family safe in Iceland?
Everybody's safe in Iceland. Yes, they're still have evacuated that little town. It's just one town. There's a lot of little towns in Iceland. So everybody's safe, and they're just keep being cautious because there's a lot of turmoil, lots of earthquakes still, and lots going on. So really not much to know. I wanted to show you, I found my trees. So these are the trees I got at the Hadeland glass factory. Aren't they cute? So you can put like those battery candles in here, so then it lights up, but it's really, really pretty. And I took another souvenir home that I thought I would show you. So when I was growing up, this was my favorite to put on fresh bread, little butter, and then this on top. And then they had these tiny little tubes. This is caviar or caviar. So we would get them in big tubes. So when I saw these at breakfast, I squealed and had to have them for breakfast on my bread. It's really good with some egg. It's like a little bit salty. It's pink. And so I brought a few of these home. I stole a few from breakfast. And then Catherine actually brought me more. So yes. But I'm saving them for my kids because I know they will get a kick out of this because they remember it from Iceland. So yeah, that was one of my souvenirs. All right, let's move on to some other things we got to talk about. So the London Calling block number 2 went live last week on the 15th. And we are visiting Buckingham Palace this month. There it is. It's a kind of a long and short block because it's 2 parts. So here's my block. It is based on the throne room in Buckingham Palace, and then the guard booths that are on each side of the entrances, kind of anchoring the entrances, where, of course, the guards stay. And you know, some of you were like, oh, is it all going to be these tiny little pieces? Don't worry. It's not all tiny little pieces, but it's all easy. Once you just watch the videos, I take you through every step. Not that hard. Not that hard. So check it out. It's still never too late to join us. We're just 2 blocks in, and our 3rd part goes live on the 15th of December. So don't have to wait too long. That'll be fun. And any questions on London Calling? So where are we going next? Who knows? Advent boxes were all shipped out. I think yesterday we sent the rest of them out. And it's so exciting. So inside the Advent box are 4 individually packaged kits each with a little gift in there. So you don't know, even if you open early, because each of them tells you when it's time to open, and that's the day that I'll do that demo tutorial, and the free pattern is available on our website during Tipsy Tuesday. And so even if you open the kit, you don't know what it makes, so that's kind of more fun. So even if you sneak a peek. But we're excited, and seeing everybody's excited receiving their box. The first Advent project goes live a week from today. So next week, on November 28th, I will have my first Advent project. Yay! We're excited. I'm excited. Some really cool things this year. And yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And more stuff going live yesterday, yes, I'm a little off in my days. On the 20th, our 3rd Fast and Furious project, the project for November, went live. It's the Twinkle Time tree skirt or table topper. You don't have to make it into a tree skirt. You can also just put it on a table. And so I know a lot of you are waiting for that one. Don't worry, if you want to still make it for Christmas, it's fast. It's, of course, all of the projects in Fast and Furious Club are Quilt As You Go. And so this is the 3rd project in this first trimester. And so the 2nd trimester will have projects for December, January, and February. And we will be showing those off next week, a week from Friday. So trimester 2 reveal also happening next week. Lots going on, lots going on. Any questions on the Fast and Furious Club? Now we made some more kits. We had been asked for more kits for both versions of that topper/tree skirt. So we have more kits available. If you want to quick make one, snatch one up, we can get that to you. All right, so speaking of projects, if you watched Perfect Pair, Kara and Nancy's show last week, they introduced a new project for 2024. And I'm very excited because I have never made a project like this. This is a temperature quilt. So maybe if you're a knitter, you've heard of temperature afghans or crochet. And so they have a specific color of fabric that color of yarn that represents the temperature, and then they knit or crochet a row every day. But there's lots of temperature quilts out there, and they showed some examples. We have all of our information printables that you can print, but I thought I would kind of explain things a little bit better. If you go to our website, gequiltdesigns.com, it's right there on the cover that you can just click right on it and get to the PDFs and print them out. So what it's going to be, we're going to be also, it's second as a boot camp for making flying geese, the G-Easy way, the no crying flying geese. And so we thought, how fun would it be that we're practicing our flying geese techniques throughout the year and making an awesome quilt. So you can make any size, you can make any size geese. And so for example, if you want to make a queen to king quilt, you should make three flying geese that finish at 3 by 6. If you want to make just a lap size, you can make flying geese that finish at 2 by 4 inches. Or if you want to really practice your tiny ones and make just a mini quilt, small quilt, you can make flying geese that finish at 1 by 2 inches. So I am for sure participating. And so how it works, you pick first off, you should kind of look at where you live and what's the temperature gauge. Like how much fluctuation is there? What's the lowest temperature in your area throughout the year and your highs? So of course, this is going to vary very much. Our temperatures in Minnesota can go from 30 below and even sometimes lower than that. And then our highs can be 105. And so there's a long gap. So we made our temperature swatch sheet really long, but that doesn't mean you have to fill it out. So I gave you an example. I'm going to give you an example how I am going to do this. I may make a quilt for Minnesota and another quilt for St. Petersburg, Florida, where we are now. But I looked at what you want to do first before you decide how many colors or how many fabrics you're going to have to represent each temperature range. And I went on just weather.gov, so weather.gov if you're in the United States. I'm sure there's similar websites for locally where you are. And you can just look up a month. So this is, you just go to, I think it's past weather, and then you can see temperature by month. And so this is last month here in Florida. And so you can see the highs and the lows. It tells you also if there was precipitation. So the idea for how we would do this, a part of the printouts are these daily trackers, and you don't have to be tracking that daily. My plan is to go on that website and just either fill out the whole month, or maybe I'll do a half of the month or something at a time, and then I can make those flying geese accordingly. And so I went ahead and did my temperature range for Florida. So the lows last year, the lows went actually under 30 degrees. It was like 25 or something here last year. So I can always go add a color and go lower if I want to, but I've staggered this by 5 degrees, so 30 to 35, and then 36 to 40, 41 to 45, and so on. So I can go up, and I went up to 101 to 105. So I can still go up if I want more. So this is 14 different temperature ranges for me. Now you can also, if you live in an area that has even less of a range, you can have only 3-degree difference. If you want a lot of different fabrics in your quilt, you can do even smaller. You can do it by 10s if you live somewhere like in Canada, where it goes from 50 below to 100 degrees in 1 year. So just decide what you want to do. And so again, you can have a bigger range so that you can have fewer colors. It all is up to you. So this is what I'm planning to do. And so I need about 15, 16 fabrics. I have probably a little bit more than that here. So then this is how it's going to work. We're going to make flying geese, and you can do, I think both Kara and Nancy, they explained this, that they are just going to put the hives as their flying geese, and then they're just going to use a background for the background here. Now you can, if you want to, put the lows as these colors. Now what will happen most likely is, because we're using the G-Easy method, we're making 4 flying geese at a time. So you will be making 4 that has the same combination and might not use all of them. But I am really intrigued by the highs and lows. So if I make one quilt for Florida and one for Minnesota, I want to kind of do the highs and lows. It's always a good practice to practice those flying geese. And then you can add other things in there. So I've seen quilts with flying geese that they also turn the flying geese downwards when there is precipitation. So if there is rain or snow, they have it downwards like that. So I will show you some example here in the next few weeks until the new year, some examples that I can draft up for what the quilt will be, how it will be laid out. But there's so many fun options, and you can play with that yourself, however you want. But I am sure you want to have an example of my fabrics. And so I did pull some. I wanted to, you know, those of you that are a little bit, don't want the whole rainbow, you don't have to. You can pick your favorite colors and create a range. So I think I'm going with something like this. I love these soft greens and teals going into blues. So this will be my cold end. This will be my mid-range. And I may pull some out going into these mustards and ending up in these rusty reds. So this is about, I think, 17 or 15 or something. 12, 14, yeah, 17. So I'm gonna have to probably narrow it down. So you have one fabric for each temperature range. So once you've decided on your fabrics, you can cut a little swatch and put a swatch in here, and then you can put a name if you need to get try and get more of a fabric or something. It's good to have the name, and then that's the temperature range. So we will go deeper into this once we get closer to starting to make the flying geese. But all you need is pick in your range, start looking at fabrics, and then folks were asking me how much fabric do I need? Well, that really depends on your area. So if you have a lot of the same temperatures in your area, you might need more of those fabrics. So I recommend something that you can get more of, or if you're gonna do a really wild and fun rainbow, you can always, if you run out of one, just add a new one that looks very similar. So no big deal. It's gonna be a scrappy quilt, but a really fun project to see how everybody's is gonna be different. So I hope you join us. So like I said, Kara and Nancy are going to be doing this on their show because it's a monthly show, which is always on the third Thursday morning. Now you can always watch later, but I'll be sewing along, so I'll be checking in every month at least on the Tipsy Tuesday shows to show you my progress. But I'm excited. So this is kind of what I'm going, the colors for my Florida quilt, and then who knows, maybe my Minnesota one will be totally different. Totally different. I don't know. What do you think?
I was wondering why I had a sweatshirt on. It was a little chilly in here.
Well, once the AC is on, yes, if you crank that up. Yeah, it's, I'm wearing shorts, just so you know, so I'm not that cold. I just got back from snow, so I'm thrilled to be here. But any other questions? So like I said, no rush. If you want to participate, you can start looking at your temperatures and trying to decide your range, looking at colors, fabrics, and you can always add a background if you want it more uniform, not as scrappy, but we'll walk you through everything. All right. Okay, Jody says, I think you should go down to the 20s, just saying from a fellow Minnesotan. Yes, I know. Well, for Minnesota, we have to go way lower. This was my range for Florida, my Florida version of this quilt. But my Minnesota version is going to be,
So colorful.
it's going to be very colorful. It's, like I said, it doesn't have to be colorful. You can do a gradient of colors, you know, but, you know, pick whatever you want to do. All right, what's next? Fabric? Fabric. I put all my notes over there, I believe.
Black Friday, Small Business Saturday.
Oh, yes, yes. It is, of course, Thanksgiving week here in the United States. We have Thanksgiving coming on Thursday, and then following Thanksgiving is, of course, Black Friday shopping day. And following that, Small Business Saturday. We, of course, encourage you to support small business, all because everybody wins when you support small business. And then there's Cyber Monday. So we have specials that will go live on Friday morning on our website, and I'll be showing you all of those specials on the Friday show coming up this week. And that all those specials will be throughout the weekend through Monday. So you won't miss out on that. However, I wanted to mention, if you are in our area, close to Chaska, Minnesota, we have some fun stuff planned for Friday. We have make and takes for $10. You can make 2 different make and takes in our classroom with Colleen, some fun things. We'll have some Christmas music and some fun stuff, some treats for getting everybody in the Christmas spirits. We're going to display some of our perfect pair gift boxes and other things. So you want to stop by, please do. And then, of course, check out those Black Friday specials. There's yeah, so this is the make and take kit. You'll make a basket liner and some trivets, and so that'll be really fun. Just a fun time in the classroom. Now I wanted to show you also, we have this printable on our website. Somebody asked about the temperature quilt printouts, if they were free. Everything is free, yes. And so we also have this little Christmas list that you can print out on our website and fill out, and of course send to your loved ones, needs and wants. And I also had an idea, if you want to, you can leave it with us. If you don't want to push this on, you can tell your family just to go to GE, they got the list, and then we can cross off things if somebody got it for you. So we have that going on. But of course, our gift cards are always a big hit to get gift cards, because then you can just choose whatever you want. We recommend those. So we appreciate all of you that are thinking of us for your holiday shopping. Oh yes, the raffle quilt, the Barbie raffle quilt. We had Karen and Nancy talk about that on their show. They displayed the quilt. This is now open. You can buy a raffle ticket for $5. Our whole team put in a little bit of work to make the quilt, and we're so excited. We got people that have never sewn anything to sew some seams on this quilt, and it's going to be special. So all of the proceeds will go to the CAP agency, and somebody will win it, of course. We have it on our show. I think we're going to pull the winner on the Perfect Pair show next month. All right, let's look at Bluish. The new fabric, it's in stock. This was a pre-order, so if you pre-ordered, you probably already have seen a shipping notification. The Bluish is pretty monochromatic, going from the deep, kind of a charcoaly blacks, dark blues, medium blues, and light blues. So let me show you. This is a Zen Chic line by Moda. And so beautiful, beautiful fabric. I love what I picked for the bundle. There are other colors in it, but I really wanted to stay with the blues. I love the little kind of orange. It's not really orange. It's kind of a burnt orange. That cinnamon color in the fabrics. So I chose that. If you noticed the accent fabric on the Terra quilt, that's kind of the color that I chose. So we have 3 of these light blues, different geometric prints, just lovely, very classic Zen Chic. For me, I love the little bit of a typography in this first one. Then we go into a little bit darker blues. And this is little stitches. Love this color. So it's like little stitches here. Sewing machine stitches. We have even a darker shade here with the polka dot typography. And this is such a versatile bundle because you can go so many different ways. You can do just scrappy and have a really blue quilt, scrappy goodness. You can add a focus. I'll show you some options for the focus. And then we go into this charcoaly gray, almost black, but it has a lot of blue in it. These are little pins, or they remind me of pins, like these. And then we have this print, which is scissors. So cute. Scissors. Oops. Let me do that. You have 2 more. Little pluses and geometrics. And then finally, the dark one with stitches. So, like I said, you can do scrappy with focus. You can do all scrappy goodness. If you wanted to do scrappy with contrast, you can have the darkest ones as your darks and lights. You could do that as well. But let me show you some of the fabrics we have with the line. We have 2 prints that are not in here that have a little bit more color, and they usually do these collage prints. It's called Bluish Stitched Up, and this is the charcoal color. This is what we use for the border on the Terra quilt. So it's these little sewing labels. Really, really nice. So we have this one available in 1 yards. Great for borders and such. And it's also in the lighter blue. So this is the Fresh Air colorway. Again, little sewing cards and fun geometrics there. And then Zen Chic always comes out with spotted colors that work with a collection. So we have a new spotted. This is called Blackboard. And the medium blue is called Blueprint. Really great blue color. And then we have the lighter blue. This one is called Sea. So perfect matches with the fabrics. So then I pulled some more darks. I pulled the Canvas Ebony, perfect charcoal gray. And then for more blues, I pulled the Dash Flow in the Twilight. So it has some lighter blue specks in it, so it works well with this medium blues. So does the Canvas Stonewashed Denim. So it has some of the darker, darker light blue and the lighter light blues. We have Moonscape in the Starlight, something with a little bit of white on it. And then Bumbleberry's Zenor Blue. That's a great, perfect match for the lightest blues here. Really awesome. So then I pulled some focus fabric, something that's not in here, be great for focus. And you'll see that in the Terra quilt here is the Bumbleberries Pumpkin Spice that I used for the focus in this one. You could also go green and do the nature elements in the moss. So we have a little bit of green in some of these prints here, so you could do green as well. Love both of them. And as for a background, I used the spotted white in the quilts here, so that was the accent color for Inga and the background for Terra. You could also just use grunge eggshell, so not a pure white, a little bit off white. Eggshell works really well for this color or the spotted white. So this is Bluish, and like I showed you earlier, we already made 2 quilts out of it. So here is some photos of my Inga quilt. It's really cool with that just blues and then that white accent. I used the long arm pattern for Inga is called Citrus and is by the Long Arm League. And it's really cool if you can see the close-up, some little circles with a wedge cut out of it. And then there is the Terra quilt. Just really fun how you can see that orange pop in between the block as the little accent fabric and white background. And the pattern we used for quilting that one is called Ginger Snap, and that's by Urban Elements. And really love that one. That's actually one of our favorites. We use that a lot, the Ginger Snaps. It's just a fun play on just loops and circles. All right, lots of great ideas for these quilts. And like I said, 1 bundle and some additional prints. These are actually the quilts I'll be teaching on our cruise come January and February. So we're excited. Bluish was one of the options that the cruisers got to choose. So you'll see more Ingas and Terras in these colorways. So tomorrow morning, Colleen will be live 9:30, of course, with 1 Yard Wednesday. Great specials and always great ideas on how to use those fabrics. So don't miss that show. And we're going to finish off with our giveaway question, Mr. HP, right?
That's right.
So today is World Television Day. So I thought it fitting to ask a TV question. We like to get hooked on series that we can watch together, some TV series, and it's really great when it has a lot of seasons. So I'm going to ask you, what show are you currently enjoying watching? We would love to get some ideas. Currently, we are watching Suits. And it's interesting because you don't normally like legal dramas and shows like that, but it's really well written. Characters are really awesome. And
got me hooked on this one. I'm surprised.
And it's funny and kind of suspenseful a little bit too. And it's a great show. And we have 8 seasons. We're only on number 2, so we got some time. It probably won't finish by the end of the year because we only make it through half a show sometimes.
Right.
We're pretty pathetic. But we'd love to get ideas on other shows, so let us know. So Black Friday, November 24th is our next show. That is our Friday show, 12 noon Central Time. We'll be live here from Studio B and showing you all the specials and all the information on Friday. And then our next Tipsy Tuesday next week is an exciting one that you don't want to miss. Put it on your calendar, set an alarm. Tuesday, November 28th, 4 p.m. Central Time. That is also live from Studio B, but we'll have our first Advent project to get us in the mood for the holidays. So that is it for us tonight. We want to wish all of you that are in the United States a happy Thanksgiving coming up this Thursday. It's going to be a small Thanksgiving for us this time, just the 2 of us and Svana and Kobe. So we wish you a very happy Thanksgiving from all the crew at GE Designs. May your dishes be plentiful. And then watch some football. That's what we'll be doing. Mm-hmm. And of course, the dog show. It's a tradition. We always watch the dog show. We FaceTime the rest of the family, and everybody picks a dog to win. We put $5 in a pot.
We may or may not put a wager on it.
Yeah, may or may not. We do. We usually have to lend the kids $5 to put in there. We have to sport them a $5 bill, but it's fun and we enjoy it. So I hope you enjoy your day as well, and we'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.